Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23. This is Lions episode 52. It's our last chance to fail. Last chance to screw this thing up. And we are still right on the verge. Even though we've done most things right, even when we've succeeded, we've had a tendency to go backwards due to a lack of popularity. Popularity has improved a little bit. I swapped one of our riders out for Mason Samuels to potentially add that boost to this race. But it's the OES Tour. And for the OES Tour, we're down to 52K on this stage number 1, and of this 5-stage race in which we need to win a stage, 4 of them provide us at least a minor opportunity to come away with a win. Only a single sprint stage in this race means it's a little bit better profile than the last race in which we did not collect victories, but we were able to at least offset that one and keep us right on the brink. Now, the good news about this not being the final opportunity to fail is that we have, or being the final opportunity to fail, it's the last sponsor objective that we have before the deadline passes us by. But we have 2 more pro races in which a win could offset any losses that we take here. So we still want to succeed and ensure that things are not going to drop, but we have 2 more pro races to potentially grab a plus and offset anything that happens here, and I'm encouraged by that. Breakaway today, only 3 riders and only 2 minutes ahead, coming back at us fairly quickly with 35K to go. They should be an easy catch, but the climb we just did a little bit ago is a climb we have to do again on the way to the finish, and we just passed the finish line. It's a sprint, so this stage does not suit us. We'll see what we can do to put the field under a little bit of pressure and set ourselves up for some sort of sprint. But we're not going to split the field today, so we might as well for this final climb coming up here. Get ourselves ready to handle the climb. It's too far out, and it's not steep enough to really change things. But when we get up on top of the plateau, we'll take that opportunity. Ooh, here comes the pace. Some are attempting. That could be good. If they go too hard and we emerge out of this still in good shape, breakaway's done now, might give us a small chance to catch and or do something. Steinhauser attacking. He's not going anywhere though. And we're done. We're done climbing. I don't know why the KOM point wasn't at the top there, why it's in the middle, but sure. Because it's in town, apparently. Okay, red bar is already starting to return and restore, and we're looking at 11K. 3 riders are off front. 22 riders are chasing. Classification on this stage does suggest that it's possible, as it happened before 10K, it's possible that we could see a split in this field. We'll see if we can go full gas from here to the finish and keep the separation on. And, of course, make contact with these 3. With a small group, you never know. We might be able to... Oh, come on, Burhi. Burhi's still not in position. Tony, go ahead and follow. Gel. Front 25 now. And we have opened the gap up more and more to those chasers. 5K. We're going to sprint for Burhi, as he's not got a good flat rating. So we have got to increase the amount of pressure. Gel for everyone else. 3.4K. A little bit of a hill. This is a good opportunity for Bitsimana to actually make some progression and maybe keep us off the front. 2K. Hanoke is done. Going rider by rider. They don't have much in the tank for a sprint, but this is just one of those profiles where I don't think we're in a favorable spot to actually win a sprint. Samuels comes through, gets his foot down. Molebron, this sets him up. 1 rider out in front of us and is pulling away. Molebron might squeeze onto the podium, but Ben Tollett has taken the victory for Mark. Molebron does get on the podium. He's going to grab 4 seconds. That's good. And we've got a small group. That's still part of that top 24. Yes, big ol' gap to the next group. That should stand. It's near a minute. Should. Will it? Probably not. Should stand. Punchy stage officially should stand. Happened from more than 10K out. Almost a minute of separation. It's always given when we're not in that group. When we are in that group, it's not given very often. It is given. Yes. Okay. Separation. That's going to start to change the outcome in the GC24. I do care about the GC a bit, though, of course, the main objective here is to win that stage so that we don't have a failure on the final books when we're right on the edge of dropping off a super success. Stage 2. Familiar profile. One climb and then come back the other way and then climb it again, but a ways to go to the finish. Should see the peloton shrunk a lot. Should see tired legs by the finish, but ultimately we'll still come down to a sprint. Bitsimana a little late on getting the water compared to what I was expecting him to get up there for, but here is the first time up the climb. We're going to hit the reverse of this here in a little bit. Not much of a climb, not too hard. 4 riders in the break. Still a 4-minute advantage, but we're starting to pull them back. Hanoch goes down in a crash. He and Johannes Dalek have been split off. Peloton at the moment just 26 riders, but it does yo-yo and come back together. And these two recovering their position before we head into climb number 2 and 45K to go. Okay, let's take a second. Reset here. Get this up to a reasonable, let's keep your position type situation. And Hanoch should be protected, or Hanoch is supposed to be protecting Mollebron, so the two that collected each other, Johannes Dalek was the free man. But for now, let's go ahead and protect Johannes Dalek while we get back up there. I was hoping for more action that we could potentially set up, but right now it's just not looking like it's the right circumstances for it. But this is towards the tail end of the peloton here for Johannes Dalek, and I don't like how far back he is. We're going to have to get him to close up a little bit faster. The third climb, thinking about it, but I think realistically this is just going to be a bit of a write-off type stage. We are seeing some yo-yoing, but there's too much firepower still to close gaps. Too many guys that aren't in trouble yet. 85 in the peloton, now back to 126. Breakaway still has an advantage. They lost 1 rider, but the 3 riders have 2 minutes. 28K, not the easiest catch. Here we go again. This is the one where we want to get up to a kind of a medium mountain. Oh, there goes down. Rider goes down, but he does not collect any of my guys. It's Imhoff. Clean trying to attack. We're down to 2 riders off the front and a small gap to them. Peloton shrinks a little bit, but not by much. Even Hanoch has made it through all that. Full team still at the front. 21K to go. But tempo lifts. Yeah, we're even recovering on the descent. Today's a write-off. We're definitely not going to win the sprint either. And I doubt we'll see a podium. Final 5K, we're ramping up, chasing down the last rider who tried to attack, and that's going to set us up for a sprint finish. Final 4K now. Burhi, he's got a 70 flat, but he's still not very effective. But my 3 guys that are going to be sprinting, just they themselves aren't very effective either. But we're in good position. We're not being followed particularly well. So Johannes Dalek, we're going to sprint coming out of this corner. And we definitely got a good takeoff there. And Mollebron and Samuels, we've let it out well. And other teams are not in great position. It's a chance. It is a chance that we are going to get that stage win today. And we are. We're going to secure it right here, right now. Mollebron with the win. Samuels takes second. Aaron Burrow takes third. Too many teams were not focused on setting up their sprinters. And with that little technical right-left at the end, that little dogleg that we had to go through, we were perfectly positioned. And it led to the victory. And then some. A 1-2-4-6 finish. We got our stage win. We have not failed, but that still means we can drop, though, because of that whole popularity issue that we've encountered. But we are on the verge of securing a super success for the year. That should have done it, but I'm not sure that it actually has. We might need to go a step further. Winning the overall, that certainly would take care of it. Quick note before we head into a much more decisive stage, number 3 with an all-scat climb, though in the middle of a 142k stage, is that I've done no preparation for this race whatsoever, and Henok is coming off some low motivation. I'm trying to remember what his reasoning was before. I think mostly he has not been in too many races lately, though I had a couple riders just coming back from injury. But anyway, overall team race day condition is just an expected +1 for the net. That's a little worrying for us to now try to defend what is Molebron in the lead. A third and a first for him means 14 seconds gained. There's still all of those 24 riders that were in the final grouping. None of them lost time today, but with the little time gains, we find ourselves in the lead. Slightly punchy finish on this one. The main thing is going to be navigating the climb and being in charge of keeping the breakaway in check. Early in the stage and right from kilometer 0, too many riders were on the attack, as I had guys come through and get near a forward position other than our leader, trying to keep it in check and say, no, that's too many riders. Well, they're riding really hard. Others are also now contributing to the chase, so at least we're in a stage where I could now take a couple guys and back off and know that we do have some other support out there to keep this group in check. So that's good news. Let's go ahead and back off with Motoni. We'll back off with, which one do we want to back off with? Oh, Johannes Dalek, of course. All right, and then I need to set the others up to support. Molebron is one of the riders we're going to support as he leads the overall. Samuels, of course, is our favorite, our leader. Henok is definitely not the guy today. And Johannes Dalek isn't either. So Motoni is the other best climber. And that's who we will protect. First climb of the day, but 17 riders in the break. They have successfully established a break with that many riders, which is worrying. But the pressure we've put them under has already led to one of those riders getting dropped. We're going to see others getting dropped. We'll see a smaller breakaway here shortly. But this is going to play its part. Sorry, I just nudged the microphone. And extra fatigue for these guys. We're dropping back here rather rapidly. At minimum, we've seen 5 riders drop off. Makes that group a little bit smaller, a little more manageable, and that's what I want to see, especially when the tempo that we have set realistically is only hurting for us, Bitsimana, and with a broken up breakaway that's had to push to stay that far away, that has led to the demise of quite a few riders already, means by the time they hit the climb, they're just not going to have a whole lot of firepower. It's 14 riders now, so it's still a fair bit. They still have a decent amount of firepower, but only a 2-minute 47 gap, and we have help. We have help in that pursuit. 80. Whoa, shoot. Henok, water. Just before the climb. A little late into the game for that. Keep an eye on Henok here. Now 13 at the front and just 2 minutes. And it's coming down pretty quick. But Bitsimana is not doing the bulk of the work here. It is others. Henok, no red bar, can't make progress. We're not getting water to our teammates. We're already a lot of the way up this climb, though. Peloton's starting to streak fast, and so is the breakaway. Henok, Bitsimana. Go Otto, and Otto. Johannes Dalek. Gel. Burhi, Gel. Wow, this has done some damage, folks. Johannes Dalek, the latest, going backwards. It's yo-yoing, but we're down to 50 riders. Matoni needs to protect Samuels most of the way up the big climb. Down to 2 riders at the front. Feder, Mokhtar. Neither one's great. That's good. Pace is going to have lifted as well. Mulebron looks like he's going to go out the back and relinquish his lead. But we're going to see a much smaller group, and it's definitely not going to be the same 24 riders that it was. Mulebron out the back. Matoni looks like he's about to be out the back. But we are also about to crest the top. Matoni's still there. Matoni is still there. He recovers, and he is back into protecting Samuels, and we've got 60k. Once we descend after this little Cat 3, we will get some water. Matoni straight out the back, though. And Mulebron did not make contact as that group joined up. Back down to 31. There's Mulebron. He's on auto, trying to regain coverage to get up there. And Matoni is dropped. Samuel's got his own water. Mulebron in a chasing pack of 13, trying to regain contact with 26. I think there's a good chance that Matoni and Mulebron get back up here. They're now together in that chase group. Minute 15 behind. We've got our water, so we're good on that. It's 48k. It's a long time on the flat, so I expect a number of groups to be able to make it back up here. At least that one feels likely. Now 1 minute behind. 1 minute. They're working hard to get up there. It's going to give them less firepower at the end, but it gives me 3 guys to set up a sprint and attack the final climb. Now just 39 seconds back. Another 8 riders trying to cover the gap, but they are definitely a lot further behind than these guys are. Right now, allowing Mulebron and Matoni to both ride individually as they cover this gap off slowly but surely. Almost in contact. There's one team with a lot of firepower there. Tudor. A lot of guys. And we're going to return to the front. There are riders riding. That's important to keep gaps. Mulebron is not the one I want protecting. Let's get Matoni on it. There you go. So 39 riders holding the gap now behind, and the final climb is 3.3k. Average is 5.2%. The max, which is right near the peak, is 9.7. 3 kilometer climb, 3 riders to make it happen. We'll want Matoni to gel up just before. And look at the fatigue. This is not full recovery. They are riding hard here at the front. The 3 guys that are putting their foot down, or 4 guys that are putting their foot down, they are keeping a high tempo, which is preventing most recovery. We're getting just an ounce of recovery for Samuels because he's being protected. I don't think anybody else is getting any recovery or any sizable, but 6k. This is Matoni's already gelled. I don't know if I want 99 though. That's seems a little high for what we're about to try here. We'll try a 93. 4.4k. Never mind the sprint point. Though there might have been seconds involved, but those were all domestiques doing the work on that. 2.8k. 2.5k. Okay, Matoni's starting to speed up a little bit more. He's kept us in a firm position to challenge. 1.7. Matoni done. On to Mulebron, final kilometer. And leading out Samuels. Looks like we are headed for a podium. Samuels will get 3rd today. Behind Aaron Burrow. Tullett. Samuels gets 3rd. Add 36 riders in this group. This is going to shake up that GC a little bit. We already got the stage win, so no worries about not winning today. But we do a little bit more to help our position. Mulebron might be relinquishing the leader's jersey to Tullett, or to Aaron Burrow, and that could be good for us heading into the next one. We don't have to protect it. There was a split right at the finish. 14th on down, lose 14 seconds. There's a chase group at 26, and then 38, and then it's 3, 5, 6 minutes to the chasers. Really going to split things up a little bit. So just 13 riders on the same time. Samuel's gaining the 4 seconds. Mulebron gets that same time. This is going to spread the field out a bit. So Tullet does take the jersey away from us. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm okay with it. I really am. We are now second. Aaron Burrow is third. Samuels is fourth. Steinhauser, Fortunato are the others that had gained some time. Here's your remnants of the front group from the initial no time bonus. Then Vermark loses a little time. Schoenberger loses a little bit. Matoni is 13th, and then it falls off. Really starts to fall off. Johannes Dalek, Berhe lost 6.5 minutes. We had everybody up there, but we got 2 guys in the top 5, including 1 on the podium. And now we can be more aggressive and try to take it back in one of these final stages. But for now, I'm pretty happy with where we're at after that stage, especially with our kind of net neutral race day condition. I think we were right about 0. I wasn't paying attention to exactly where we were at on that, but I think we had a pretty neutral draw for the day. Some plus, some minus. For now, we're going pretty quick, but it's just 83K to the finish line with a lot of climbing here on the final stage of this race. We're down to 3rd place. The last stage, a sprint stage, ended up with Aaron Burrow collecting seconds at an intermediate sprint. He didn't finish in top 3, but he got some time somewhere along the way in the stage to bump us, drop us down to 3rd. So we sit 3rd and 4th. With an expected of a +3 today. Our -2 guy, who was that? Hanoch, right? Had a -2 expected. He's taken care of that. He is now happy. He's gotten some racing in, and he's back to normal. So +3 was the expected. It's actually kind of about what we have, but it looks ugly. We got 3 guys in deep red. We have the rest of the team in green. All over the place. The big problem is Samuels has a -5. So Samuels is no longer the guy, but he sits 4th overall. So we're hoping to throw him in at the end. Hope that he can hang on and not lose time at the final climb. This is the first time up that climb, though. So let's see what we have. We are 30.4 and climbing. So we started at 30.4. Actually, that data is pretty obvious. It's showing up. 2.3K is the climb. Average is 14% and the max is 18.7. But it's short. It is short. So it's definitely somewhere in between that hill rating. Like, you can't just go hills on that something that steep. But medium, like, I would think it could come down to a medium. They do have this classified as a punchy stage. You can see just how much that took out of us getting to the top, getting to this plateau. 50K to go. This is actually our best time to get water. Let's go ahead and send Hanoch for that. Final time doing that. Already down to 78 in the peloton. I do expect we'll see some splits. It's not going to be everybody coming to the finish line, even though it's only 2K. It's so steep, it could easily split the field. And I do think that puncher's rating is not necessarily going to be enough to set yourself up for this one. Matoni looking weak. Hanoch looking weak. Berhe looking weak. Samuels, of course, is also looking weak. But Mulebron, Johannes Dalek, still looking pretty good. Bitsimana, the neutral guy, looking okay. 88, chasing 11. 240 is the gap. 36K to go. That gap can come down real fast when we hit that climb, though. Potentially. And we will have to increase our effort this time. We're going to pause real quick and up the effort. We'll go 85. Let's hope that's plenty. Here we go, to the top. Watching the gap to the front as well. For now, it's holding. Only 1 rider is actually chasing. Now 2 riders trying to do the chase. 1 rider dropped off the front, but we're holding our position pretty easily. Tudor's the one doing the work. Gap at 3 minutes with 27K to go. Not a given that we're going to catch those guys. Peloton splits in about half, 65. Motoni is dropped. Now 42 riders as another one, or another set, go out the back. We've got 2 more guys that are pretty much done. Bitsimana is pretty much done. Let's go ahead and protect Samuels. We'll get a little recovery during the descent. And it's 3 minutes to the front, and we're not closing in on them. So Tudor is not managing this gap well. Let's hope that riders at the front do not have something to gain positionally. Let's go ahead and check in on that. 50 in the peloton. Do I need to contribute to a chase to protect our overall? These guys aren't going to be a threat. They're going to get caught. It's 1 rider left at the front. 246. 246 is the biggest threat. He's in the second group. Gap still at 3 minutes. It will come down. The 3 riders at the front, though, are back together. 8K. Bitsimana is going to gel here in a moment. Little acceleration through this phase. Doing some damage to the legs of a lot of guys. Hurt our position, but we didn't overdo it through there. Okay, gel for Bitsimana. 6K. Gap's coming down pretty fast to the front, too. 5K. Time to line up and have a go. I think we'll start at about a 93. It's going to be steep, but it's going to go by pretty fast. Samuels is going to tail onto the back. We're riding for Mollebrand. Johannes Stalek's going to lead out, which means really it's only 2 riders to set this up. Samuels might get sacrificed for Mollebrand today. Okay. Just as we're about to hit the base, we get to the front. Johannes Stalek gel. Mollebrand gel. Gel, not jail. We're not putting you in jail. Just 3 riders left off the front, and then the gap's coming down pretty fast to them. Johannes Stalek getting held up by the Tudor rider a little bit. 1.9K. Samuels out of red bar, drifting. So it's now Johannes Stalek leading out Mollebrand. 1K to go. Johannes Stalek continue to just pull Mollebrand along. Nobody has red bar left, so it would seem, but there's Tollet. Battistella. 600 meters. Johannes Stalek sprinting out of the saddle, trying to pull Mollebrand along just to keep us here in the mix. We're not going to win the overall. That much is clear now. Stage win goes to Steinhauser, then Tollet, so he gains more time. Johannes Stalek, Mollebrand right there in the mix. Possible gaps there after Bomber. Aaron Burrow could have, should have lost time potentially. Samuels loses a lot of time. Wow. That's a -5 for you, folks. -10 to his stamina, -10 to his resistance, -5 to all his climbing ratings. Yowzer. Gaps were given. Steinhauser gets a gap. Tollet, Battistella, Fortunato get a gap to Johannes Stalek. Mollebrand with Vermark and Balmer are 16 seconds down. Aaron Burrow loses 10 seconds to Mollebrand. But what happened with those guys in front of us? Where were they in the GC? This is going to shake up the podium a little bit. Are we still on it? No, we're down to 5th place. Tollet takes the win. Steinhauser jumps onto the podium. Battistella as well. Fortunato moves into 4th. Mollebrand is 5th. Aaron Burrow falls to 6th. Samuels falls to 12th. So it's a top 5. Not sure if that's going to be enough for a plus. It's definitely going to be enough for some decent points. We did get our stage win. So what's the verdict? Remember, there are still 2 more pro races coming on the calendar. So we do have chances to get a plus at some point if we didn't get one here. But do we even need it? Or do we have a super success? We did not get a plus, but we did get a double plus on the registered riders, bringing that up a little bit more. And this time, seeing a positive result keep us neutral. It did not increase, it did not decrease the sponsor confidence, at all. And that is because the registered riders climbed a little bit. That little bit of a climb gave us a neutral outcome, and so our sponsor confidence remains as super success with 0 sponsor objectives coming, meaning there are 0 opportunities to see a decrease. So even though it's close, we will have a super success. And even though there's 2 more pro races, all we can do is improve our rating through successes there to get pluses. We cannot decrease it anymore. We've done it. We have done it. We have secured a super success, which is 119K for the coming season. That should put us into the estimation max, which means we should be looking to sign a new sponsor. Even if it's not African, I can then go in and manipulate the system a little bit, and we can just utilize whatever jersey it is that we have as a choice. We'll have a couple picks, but we can alter it to be a South African sponsor once again. Into July, following that race, and we are now still firmly first in the Continental Pro rankings, still firmly 13th overall. There's a pretty big gap to us and the next World Tour team above us, the top 12. They definitely have a lot more points than we have. There's a lot of them close to each other in that 5,500 range. I mean, there's 5 teams within 400 points. We are, 800 points behind that? Got a 400 point gap to Movistar, who is Continental Pro, and Traffout, the 2 teams we've been really going head to head with in the last couple of races. They've got some strong riders compared to us. They definitely have stronger teams than we do. Remember, we barely qualified for Continental Pro, so outscoring them at this point in the season with a cliff wall separating us in terms of talent feels good. But can we hang on to it, especially with the kind of invites they get? But now that it's July, we're down to 2 Grand Tours. We're down to a very limited World Tour schedule from here to the finish of the season, which means, yes, there are still opportunities for them to eclipse us and grab some huge points haul by winning, a King of the Mountain at the Tour de France or something, or winning a couple stages at the Tour de France or La Vuelta. There's still big points opportunities for them that we just don't have. But our pace and what's left on the calendar suggests that it's getting closer to us actually finishing in the top 3. Because especially the drop-off after those 2 teams behind us is to our KS Samsic. And they're almost 1,000 points back. That's starting to feel like maybe, just maybe, enough points. By the way, we have already far eclipsed our grand total from any previous season this year. Having that Continental Pro calendar, making a big difference. These 2 pro races, 1 pro races, even though we're not necessarily winning a ton of them, but a lot of podiums, a lot of top 5s, a lot of points. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.